Hey guys, Yuliya here. So today's video is a follow-up to a video that I made back in November where I was planting some bulbs for forcing. So guess what? It showed on my calendar that it's actually time to pull some of them out. And I already pulled this bottom shelf out of our fridge that is full of Muscari armeniacum or grape hyacinths. They're all different types in here. But because I was forcing so many bulbs, I actually did not have enough space in our fridge. So I found another spot in our house that was good for forcing bulbs. And I got a lot of questions from the video in November. What is the alternative to a refrigerator? Because most of us do not have enough space in our fridge. So you can force your bulbs in the garage or part of your basement, which I did. This is the first time I used part of the basement that I kind of didn't think about before. And it is an unfinished part of our basement. So don't get nervous when you see the peeling paint and old stairs. It looks kind of dungeon-y, but it was a perfect spot to force bulbs because the temperature there stayed around 35 to 45 degrees, which is just the proper temperature for forcing bulbs. So let me take you down there and show you the rest of the bulbs that I have. So here's a set of stairs in our basement that we never use, and I forgot they existed. We probably have not opened this spot in 10 years until I started looking for a place to force my bulbs. And guess what? This is the perfect spot because the temperature is great. You see that little white thing? That's a temperature gauge that I will show you later how that works. But also it has these steps where I can set up all of my pots with my bulbs. And so check it out. The hyacinths are doing great. Look at the growth. There's some crocuses right there. I also have some tulips in here. So I'm ready to pull out the hyacinths and crocuses because their chill period is roughly 2 months. So it's been 2 months since I planted them. The tulips, however, right there on the top shelf, their chill period is a little bit over 3 months. So it has not been 3 months yet. So I'm not going to touch those yet. Anyway, let me take all of these pots that are ready and I will line them up and show you what's going on. All right, you guys, we're back from the basement and I probably will paint those steps at some point because I'm going to be using it a lot for forcing of bulbs later on. But I wanted to quickly go over the temperature gauge that I had there. So this is the thermometer that I bought on Amazon, and I've tried a lot of different thermometers over the years, and they were either unreliable or extremely inaccurate, or they broke so quickly from either humidity or something else. This one I had for about 6 months, and I really like it so far. It has 3 different gauges. It is Wi-Fi connected, and I just wanted to see what the temperature was in that spot before I placed any of the bulbs there. And I could see that it was anywhere between 35 and 45 degrees, and it was staying sort of even. You do not want the fluctuations. You don't want your temperature to be 30 degrees one day and 60 degrees the next day. You want it to be nice and even, just as it would be in the refrigerator, and that's what it was. I actually have 3 of these different things in the house, wherever my plants are. I have one here because I turn off heat in this room. I don't turn it off, I turn it down at night because a lot of plants actually like lower temperature at night and they do much better this way. And the second gauge that I have is in the foyer where you guys know I have a lot of plants as well. I will put the link to this thermometer in the description down below so you can check it out. So it says it's 42 degrees down in the basement right now. It's actually, I think I let a lot of warm air from the room in there, so it's going to go down. And it's also very helpful to see the humidity to make sure it's not too dry or not too humid where you force your bulbs. So let's talk about the bulbs next. So I have crocuses, hyacinths, and the grape hyacinths or muscaris here. And the crocuses, I'm just going to go over the varieties and flash what they look like on the screen. So this is a ruby giant crocus. This is Prince Claus. Now this hyacinth is violet pearl, and I remember when I was buying these bulbs, I bought them in the local garden center. They were big, and it really shows like the quality of the bulb. Look how huge this new growth is. It's just amazing. These two are hyacinth Aiolo. And these are the ones that I planted back in November in the video. These are blue jacket, which are beautiful blue-purple like color. I actually forced them last year, not the same ones, different bulbs. And they were just so beautiful. I had to do it again. And then I have different types of grape hyacinths or muscaris right here. There's some Muscari armeniacum. There's some Mount Hood, and a Muscari latifolium. I've never forced Muscari latifolium, so we'll see how it goes. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to place these pots either in decorative containers, or in case of the grape hyacinths, I actually am going to plant them in one terracotta pot because I want that beautiful display later on. Now, some of them are already in these pretty terracotta pots, so I will leave them alone. And these right here, I can also replant in decorative pots, or I can just take this container like this and just plop them down in here, just like this, and maybe cover it with moss so you cannot see the plastic pot. So if you are nervous about replanting forced bulbs or like newly growing bulbs, you could just put them in decorative container, and that's about it. All right, you guys, the grape hyacinths were planted, and you probably noticed I was being very careful placing the moss on top because I actually don't want to place the moss directly on top of the new shoots. They will grow through it, but I don't want them to struggle too much. These pots right here, I'm just going to place in decorative pots like this or the terracotta that I have around here. And I also wanted to mention that you can plant your forced bulbs in this large mass like this. This is about 20 grape hyacinths right here. It's going to be really pretty. But if you want to have them blooming all through the winter, you can have a succession planting. So you can leave some of these bulbs in the fridge or wherever you're forcing them and take them like about 1 week or 2 weeks apart. This way you will have them blooming for like a month or so. Anyway, the next step is to find a bright spot in the house and place these bulbs there. After these bulbs get used to the house environment, the temperature and the humidity, I could see them starting to grow a little bit. I usually fertilize them with this all-purpose Jack's fertilizer. it gives them that boost, and it makes the flowers bigger, more colorful, and the foliage greener too. And I water them about once a week. And that's about it. Make sure that they are in the bright spot and not too warm of a spot, because that's the mistake of most of the beginners. They put them in a very warm location, bright and warm, but it rather be bright and somewhat cooler. This way they will be stockier flowers. But this is about it. It's a very simple process, and I will have flowers in about 3 weeks, which it will be end of January, and I'll take it. If you are not forcing bulbs this year, make sure that you put it in your calendar around October to get bulbs and to plant them around November time for blooming this time of the year. And thank you so much, you guys, for watching. I hope you learned something new in this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. All right, you guys, we're back from the basement. All right, you guys, of days these bulbs accumulate, no. One kind of gives them a quick boost. I don't think this is gonna work.